Hey, what's up? It's Dan here, and I'm going to talk real quick. I'm going to try to cram a whole bunch of information into this small video. Today, we're going to be talking about enzymes, enzyme-rich foods, weight loss, digestion, healing, and tissue regeneration for maximizing energy potential and tonifying the body and illuminating the mind and heart. Can you dig it? So I will try to be brief. This is a topic that would probably take about 3 to 4 hours to cover in depth, but we're going to do it here in about 10 or 15 minutes. So today I've got a pineapple and I've got some coconut water. And so this video is dedicated to my friend. He asked me a question. He wanted to know about the enzymes because when we lose the weight, we are dealing with the saggy skin many times. And the reason is because what we have are these enzyme inhibitors in the food, in the processed foods that we all grew up on. We gained a lot of weight. We were eating emotionally, and we were eating the processed foods. And now all those chemicals, which are enzyme inhibitors that keep the foods from spoiling on the shelves, are now sitting in our tissues, and they're very difficult to break down. And that's the reason why we use high enzyme foods and enzyme supplementation to break down all of those more difficult chemicals, because they're artificial. And throughout history, our body would adapt over time to being able to break down some of the more organically produced chemicals that would make us unwell throughout history. But in the industrial age, we haven't had time to catch up and to adapt microbially, enzymatically, or immunologically, however you would say that. The immune system is still trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and that's why everyone is really, really unwell, overweight, sick, and we live in the sickest nation in the world. But you don't have to be. If you implement, that is the thing, you have to do it. So I'm gonna make some juice today, and I'm gonna suggest from my friend, now I know you know what I'm talking about. We've got the coconut water, and I know you got access to a lot of coconut water. And then we've got the pineapple, which is one of the best foods. And then I'm going to answer your question about the enzymes in depth as much as I can anyways. So I'm just going to juice this pineapple and make myself a real quick tonic. And then I'm going to answer some questions about enzymes and enzyme therapy, enzyme-rich foods, which I have just a couple here on the table. Number one is the pineapple, the bromelain. Now that is going to be what breaks down a lot of the proteins. And so we do have lots of different kinds of reasons that things are stuck and sticky. And the different, because you have coagulated proteins, you have coagulated fats, and you have coagulated carbohydrates, I guess. There might be better words to describe it, but what I'm saying is that heat and processing bonds the molecules together. And then the enzymes in our natural liver do not recognize them because heat is fairly new, but many of these new extraction methods and modern day industrialized foods that are solvent extracted and then added to high heat, now we've got some strange chemicals that our body does not recognize. So they tend to stick because they cannot stay in the GI tract and they cannot stay in the bloodstream because of the acidic nature. So it has to store them. That's why everyone is getting so overweight, because those chemicals cannot stay in the bloodstream. So the body stores all kinds of acid waste throughout the body in the lymphatic system being delivered by the blood. So now you've got to purify the blood and get the blood activated with high enzymes, sunlight, and as much living water as you possibly can. And that would be, of course, the coconut water. So this is the pina colada, and this is one of the juices. Now, juicing is a therapy, and the reason is because most of us are dehydrated, for one, and it's an easy way to absorb massive amounts of I don't know what you would say, maybe biomolecular nutrition. Plus, the water in the fresh fruits and vegetables and herbs is a distilled H3O anti-gravitational water, particularly the water in the coconut. And especially the ones that I picked today from Anahola. And when they're fresh, that's when they're the best. When the foods are fresh, that's when they're the best. So high enzyme food is pineapple and bananas. If you can see those over here, I got a little rack of bananas. That's going to be a nice little dinner snack. And then also, avocados are also a high enzyme food. Papayas are a high enzyme food. All fruits are high enzyme food, and freshly picked herbs, and then bioactivated nuts and seeds, sprouts, etc. So there's living foods, pluck and eat. Then there are raw foods, pluck and kind of sit there for a while. The thing about, see, the peaches, the pears, they don't really actually ripen up off of the tree. The farmers will tell you that the mangoes don't. Certain fruits ripen up on the tree, and then that is it. Avocados are different, bananas are different, papayas are different, but most of the fruits like apples, peaches, pears, plums, they ripen on the tree, and they only go as far, and then when they're done, they drop to the ground for the animals. And then they need to be eaten in due course, okay? Very shortly thereafter. So anyways, it's a little bit nuts. I'm gonna answer your question though, bro, here real quick about the enzymes, because I know you wanna get that, tone up a bit. So I was just talking about the fresh food. The other thing we did talk about the other day was the mono meals, the simple foods, avoiding, the processed food goes first, then like the whole, home cooked mixtures, then the raw food mixtures, then you're getting up to the mono meals and the mono juices. And I have a few juices here too. I just wanted to share with you, because you might be, I know you know the juice game. I usually pour the pineapple in there first. This is just a quick little pina colada for me, a pre-dinner snack, and I wanted to have a reason to make a video. I was off because I got a strike and I wasn't able to post for about a week. So everything's moving over to the Rumble. So if you want to join me on Rumble, it's Life Regenerator on Rumble. There's a link down below, all Dan's links. Open that up and you'll see all my links, and you'll be able to go over there, and then you'll be able to go join me on Rumble, because that's where I'm going to be safe. Over here, I'm not safe. Also on the Patreon, I'm launching the 40-day water fast documentary. That is coming up on this Saturday. I had to put that off too because I couldn't access my YouTube content. So, thanks everyone for your patience and stuff. I'm gonna just try to see what the hell I can do here about all this craziness. I mean, social media, if you knew what I knew, you'd know it's a real interesting place. But anyways, we can keep it good, we can keep it love, and we can transmit information, and then you kind of want to get in and out with your information. So we got the high vibration juices here. This is the pina colada, and that's gonna break down all the gunk and junk. What I've got here, this is the orange, mandarin, and grapefruit. This one is a really good one. I call this one just the basic deodorizer. This is coconut, cilantro, and a little bit of lime. And that's going to help to neutralize body odors. And then this one is for like anti-inflammation purposes, as well as the joints. And they all just hydrate. And what you got is hydration. What happens when you take the rain and you add the sun? So what happens when you have water and sun and those two meet? Exactly. You have the light, you have the full spectrum UV light, the rainbow. So how do you become a rainbow star child? You eat the rainbow fruits, you get the living water inside of you, then you go out into the sunlight and you get the rainbow star child cellular activation. Now, if you have had artificial exposure to processed foods, chemical foods, cooked foods, fried oils, etc., 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 that's why I recommended for my homeboy the enzymes, and these are the Pyrazyme, which really are the best for you because now they have the nattokinase, and that's for the people that took the thing, which I don't even go there. The thing, done. You know, the thing, and that's it. And that's what's been making the clotting happening inside all the different bodies, which is clogging up the circulation. So think in terms of circulation. You know, that's why these juices and these enzymes will break everything loose, break everything loose, break everything loose, and then all the pipes will clean up, especially the pipe, you know, the gastrointestinal tract starts up here in the sinuses, and then you lose your sense of smell, you lose your sense of hearing, you lose your sense of vision, you lose your sense of touch, and you become a desensitized automaton blob, which is exactly what they want for you. I would say, not that you need to listen to me, I'm not a doctor, I'm nobody, I'm nothing, but I want to be sensitive. I want to be awake. I want to be alive. I want to be real. I want to be an organic human being. And I don't care about the rest of the transhumanism and stuff, and everybody's going transgender and transhuman and putting microchips in their shit, and they don't want to do anything but just lay around and play video games all day, jerk off, smoke weed, take all these weird tobacco products, puff on everything and everything in sight. What I like to do is get all that shit gone, so I can just get outside and be one with the God, because that is the holy joy of all life, and it's the most meaningful and significant thing. But there's no dopamine there, there's no addictions, you're nothing. You're just a nobody being the joy that you already are, but covered over by massive amounts of propaganda, falsehood, addictions, and bullshit. And I'm calling everything out on that. Not you, do what you want. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to go that route. I'm not going to listen to the media. I'm not going to listen to the doctors. I'm not going to listen to the propaganda. And I'm not going to do anything they say. What they say, I do the exact opposite of. Can you dig it? Sorry, I went on a tangent. This is the pure enzyme. This is the most concentrated therapeutic for people with real bad crap that's just sticking there. Where there was a guy, and he had a thing on his back growing. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Things start growing because they have the fermentation, the fungus, the growths, the lack of oxygen, the lack of sunlight, the lack of pure water, the lack of circulation, the lack of digestion, absorption, utilization, the lack of exercise, the lack of sleep, all the crap that's been going on in our society killing us. It really sucks, but you don't have to do that. You can change your life. Okay, so what I'm saying, sorry bro, I get out of my mind here when this shit happens because I'm pissed. I'm tired of this crap, dude. And I don't know if anyone's ever going to listen to me. I'm not sure that any of this is getting through, but maybe I'm just telling this to myself. I've been doing this for 15 years. It finally sank in. I just got rid of all the bad habits, and now there's just nothing. And there's just like hella energy today, climbing coconut trees and cleaning the whole place up, and then running up and down the beach and just worshiping and living and being grateful to God and doing thermogenesis therapy in the cold water up on the river. Anyways, dude, I'm trying to talk to my boy Chemo here. Pure enzyme, this is the therapeutic. That's the one thing that I would recommend, getting a couple bottles of this and then taking that with take 8 of these with juice once, twice, 3 times a day. You're a big guy. I mean, the more you take, the better. Okay, that's for the therapeutic on an empty stomach so that it can go in and do its work. And that's when I say empty stomach, I'm talking about not bad, kids. That's the therapeutic. This is the digestive, which I have 2 of, and I want to apologize. This is still out of stock, the Lifezyme, for a couple more days, but it'll be back in. This is what I recommend to everyone, right here. If you eat cooked food, if you mix your raw food, if you do anything other than like fruit mono meals, then you want to take 10 of these before and 10 of these after, just to help you so that you don't tax your vital force so much. Everything is in digestion. It's in digestion, masturbation, and the scrolling, and so your energy just goes down, down, down. One thing, which is a small part of the pie, is to keep yourself from spending all your energy digesting food, which numbs us down. Then you don't get the activation of the joy, but then you also don't have to deal with all the crap that comes up that hurts, that's uncomfortable, unpleasant, the traumas, the unresolved issues, the self-judgments, the not good enough, the unworthiness. You might want to just keep that suppressed with tasty titillations, the big, heavy snacks. In that case, you probably wouldn't want to do this, but then again, maybe you would. You just have your tiddly snacks, your titillations, and your, addictions. I don't mean to judge anyone. No one's been more addicted to everything than I have. I just slowly, and it isn't even really discipline. What it is it's just wisdom. You just keep working at it, trying to wake up, become more sensitive, and you're like, wow, when I eat that, I feel like shit. And do I love myself? Because if I love myself and wanted to feel better tomorrow, I wouldn't eat this shit tonight. You see what I mean? Then you're not like, it's not like discipline. You're like, remember what happened the 97 times that you ate that shit? You felt like shit the next day. And you felt bogged down, heavy, tired, lethargic, depressed. And not only that, you were judging yourself because you knew you shouldn't be eating it, and you should be facing your feelings and creating a better environment where you're eating, in the sense that you should make every meal a celebration no matter what it is, to tell you the truth. And then try to eat the best food you can. And I've always been recommending the live foods, the living foods, the enzyme-rich foods that are easily digestible. And then you get to the point where, I'm not saying make mono meals a religion. I'm just saying that generally what you find in nature is that that's what people do. I mean, not people, that's what the animals do. The people, they go to the restaurant, they order a 3-course meal with 47 different ingredients, and that's when you need Lifezyme to help you out, to help break all that stuff down, because this has amylase, protease, and lipase. And when you mix all that stuff together, the amylase here, the protease here, and then the lipase here, and if you have all those things in one meal, they cancel, all the enzymes get canceled. And so the amylase cancels the protease. So that's why, like, cheeseburgers are harder to digest than just the burger itself or a steak. Do you see what I mean? Because then it bypasses the amylase, goes straight to the protease, and then at least the protease can work. But the amylase neutralizes the protease, and now you've got this big bolus sitting there that didn't digest at all and didn't break down, utilize, or assimilate. And that's where the fungal, bacterial putrefaction comes in, and that's why you need those green juices to deodorize and get yourself cleaned up as you can. We can talk about this for hours and we still wouldn't make any real conclusions, because there's no one size fits all for every single person. These are suggestions that I've used to keep myself in a pretty damn good state today and every day, better than ever before. That's not really me bragging. I'm just simply saying that slowly over time I've been destroyed, and I've got to grind this through the goddamn demons of hell that hate me, but I'm still keep going. I'm like, listen, Mr. Demon, I got it. What do you got to tell me? Talk to me. And I'm like, I'm pissed. And I'm like, okay, what are you pissed about? And we're working out the demons so that I don't have to keep killing myself with everything that I've done all my life. And I can just breathe the air, get the sunlight, swim in the water, have good thoughts, let go of everything, not try too hard. The ego's always just going a million miles a minute. Sorry that I'm just going crazy. The Lifezyme is the powder. You do get a lot for your money with the Lifezyme. I like to take this and put this in the green juices as a more of a therapeutic also, because when you take this with juices, or you take any of these on an empty stomach, then you're talking about using enzyme therapy. And when you're taking the Lifezyme with food that is more of the mixtures or the cooked foods, then you're using it as a digestive aid. So these are the Lifezyme here is the more of the digestive enzyme that you use to get yourself through our modern world, because we're not eating like wild animals. Like, I pretty much got to the point where I realized that if you eat mono meals, you feel great. And when you start mixing stuff up and trying to turn food into something that it's not, a way to fill in your holes or make you feel better, or to get together with the family and stuff, because they're all a bunch of stoners too, food stoners. So it sucks, and you're the odd man out. But if you want to feel better and you want to lose weight and you want to tone up, then you definitely want to get on point with the simplification and just more living like an animal as much as you can. Because the more sunlight, oxygen, rest, meditation, the less stress you have, the less food you need. So I had 1 pineapple, I think about 4 coconuts, and now this, which is more of a prop, you know, because I'm ready to have some kind of dinner after this to calm down. But I just wanted to make a video, tell everybody thank you. I wanted to make this video for chemo. I hope I probably didn't describe it as well. It's impossible to kind of describe in these short videos, and I tell all these little stories and anecdotes, but this is the therapeutic to break down all the dead weight on your arms and your stomach. Sorry, I hope I'm not embarrassing you, bro. And then this is also therapeutic, and this is kind of in the middle. This is the, I hate to say pharmaceutical grade, but that's what it is. It's like very clean. I'm gonna say therapeutic grade from now on. Therapeutic grade. These are the most highly concentrated enzymes anywhere in the world, 100%, because Lou Corona does not want to F around like all these other clowns do. They make a little bit of money, they start off good, they got the concentrated formulas, but then they're like, well, if we just added this or added that, a little fillers, we could double and triple our profit, but they aren't as strong and they're not as concentrated. You want to have the most highly concentrated enzymes. You got it right here with the Pyrazyme. And then this is more in the middle. This is a powder. I just scoop it right into my mouth, dude. When I need the therapy, if I ever feel like I'm not quite right. I mean, I'm running on all 8 cylinders at this point, especially, you know, maybe not my brain or my heart, but that's what we're working on. That's where the biophoton energy is for the heart and for the brain. But the digestion is an amazing thing where I was obsessed with the colon and obsessed with digestion, and I finally kind of figured it out, at least for myself. You know, have to have all the parameters, to have the right food, to have the right environment, to make sure that you're not eating when you're stressed or vexed. You just wait a little while. You're just like, you know what, I got to take a walk and get your whatever it is that you're dealing with, and then you straighten that out, and then you have your dinner, or then you have your lunch, or then you drink your juice. But you don't want to be rushing around. You want to take 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, sit, relax with your food. Say, praise the Lord. Thank you, God, for this food. Whatever it is. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just trying to make some suggestions. I get it. Some of us have less money than others. Sometimes it's freaking cold. The food is swag. I get it. You do your best, and your best will come, you know, basically like, you know, it's kind of like if you love God with all your heart, then you can rest assured that the grace of God is also seeking you. So if you're seeking health, then health will be seeking you. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how the universe works. So do your best, and then just be happy, be grateful, because really it's about love. More than anything else, it's about loving yourself. No matter no matter how much you weigh, no matter what you look like, no matter how old you are, no matter all the bullshit you've been through in this life, it's about, can you just accept and love yourself, you know, just the way you are. And that's the real truth of the journey. The rest of it's just kind of like fun stuff to play around to get to that point. I've been sitting on these because I'm almost out, and it's just going to be a couple more days. I usually take about 10 of these, you know, and those are those are my therapy. And the reason why I wanted to say this is because this is where I've had friends do amazing stuff with just this, because it's the most affordable bang for your buck, and you can get way more consistent with this. 1,000 count bag, you know what I mean? So it lasts a while. If you just take 10, you get the therapeutic effects on the empty stomach with the juices. It'll clean up your ears, clean up your lymph nodes here. It'll clean up the junk in your back. It'll really clean out your stomach. It'll start helping offset some of the pressure on the liver. It even does a little bit for the kidneys, because those tend to get more, that's a whole nother. That requires more water and more juices and more liquids and more, watermelon and cucumber. The juices is what that'll do. And this will work more for the rubbery, waxy, unprocessed, undigested food waste matter, which creates blockages, which creates pain and inflammation. Can you dig it? Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I could talk forever. I love it. I hope that helped anybody, somebody, somewhere. You know, I'm just a robot, but kind of an organic robot, but still just welcome to, you know, if we would just chill, we would just go to the beach. I wouldn't even need to say anything. I'd just hand you a juice, hand you some enzymes, whatever. We wouldn't even need to have this discussion. It's so simple. Oh, fresh, dude. That is real good. So, thanks everyone. I hope that you probably have more questions. You probably got more questions now than when you started.
Sorry. It's, you know, it's just, I'm gonna leave now. Love you. Peace and love. Peace and love, yeah. Word.